Hi, guys, and welcome to the Advanced Practice Perspective podcast. This is a podcast made by advanced practice providers for advanced practice providers.
We are your hosts, Toby O'Brien.
And I'm Trisha Williams. We are friends and colleagues that have decided to take on this exciting and new challenge. We are lucky enough to have the support of Children's Mercy, as well as support from other colleagues, nurse practitioners, physician's assistants, physicians, and nurses as we dive into this exciting world of podcasting.
That's right, Trisha. Well, let's start by telling our listeners a little bit about ourselves. My name is Toby O'Brien, and I'm a pediatric nurse practitioner in the ear, nose, and throat department at Children's Mercy. I have 12 years of experience in ENT, and prior to this role, I worked at a pediatrician's office doing primary care for 3 years in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. I love my role in ENT. What I enjoy the most about ENT is helping families feel comfortable with the decision to have ear tubes placed or a tonsillectomy. I also enjoy helping kids feel comfortable when they have to have an ear procedure done. Specifically, we do a ton of cleaning earwax out or cleaning foreign bodies out of ears. We use Child Life, and this helps a lot, but it doesn't help completely. So a research project I'm working on right now is trying to understand if by using Versed for super anxious kids, if this would help their procedure be done a little bit more effectively or perhaps with less anxiety. I only work part-time, so when I'm not busy with clinic and this research project and this podcast, I spend time with my 3 kids, my husband, and our sheepadoodle, Trixie. What about you, Trisha?
Your project sounds amazing, Toby, by the way. I love that you're looking at ways to make our kiddos more comfortable during procedures. I am also a pediatric nurse practitioner in the ENT department at Children's Mercy. I have been a nurse practitioner for 6 years, almost, a little over 6 years, I think, and have been with the ear, nose, and throat department the whole entire time. Prior to that, I have a pretty extensive career at Children's Mercy. I've been there for over 21 years. I can't believe I've been there for that long.
That is a long time.
21 years. Yeah. And I have had a career in perioperative services and also in the pediatric intensive care department, where I have worked as a registered nurse. I have a special interest in otology. So otology, for those that aren't in the ENT department, is specifically the ear part of what we do in our job. So I have a specific interest in otology. I love to work with hearing loss kiddos. I love to work with chronic ear disease and to try to help those kiddos handle their ear issues. That's a huge interest of mine. I am currently doing a research project that is looking at chronic ear drainage, so it's chronic otorrhea, with ear tubes. So ear tubes is a very common procedure that we do in the ENT department, and they can have chronic problems with ear drainage from those ear tubes. So I am looking at a multi-arm study to look at developing an algorithm to treat persistent and chronic otorrhea. So it's been a huge undertaking for me that I am doing, but a big interest. So I'm hoping to get that off the ground and running and see it through to fruition. But
I will love to see it as well, because that is one thing I do not like is persistent otorrhea. So I think it will be helpful to me.
Right. Yeah. So I'm hoping to get that algorithm completed. It's a huge undertaking, but when I am not working, I am a full-time mom of 2 very active teenagers. I currently have a sophomore and a freshman in high school. I have 2 very lazy cats that are helping my kids with their virtual school. So thank goodness for my cats that can help my teenagers through virtual school.
That's right.
Yeah, so I am a busy mama too, full-time working mama. I love what I do. I love my job. I love my life. I'm pretty much just living my best life out here. So I know that, a few of you are probably thinking, man, these 2 women are crazy busy. Like, what are they doing taking on this podcast, and what are they even thinking are going on, and how do they have the time? But I think that we both have this huge passion for, what would you say, Toby, like just giving our nurse practitioners and physician's assistants a platform. Like, we both completed the Academy for Professional Development, which we'll talk about. I'm super excited about it, but you guys will learn about it later, so a little teaser out there. But we were so impressed by the work that our fellow advanced practice providers have done when we took this class. They are so smart, articulate, compassionate, and the people that are just doing extraordinary things. So we thought, how great would it be to provide them a platform to showcase what they're doing, to showcase these amazing humans and provide education for these people and to give a little takeaway points and little like tips and things like that. So that is how our podcast journey began.
Absolutely, Tricia. I mean, really, our goals, I think we both feel with this podcast are going to be to really share pediatric practice updates, hopefully some current legislative issues, research projects that people are working on, and then really just to highlight our colleagues. They are, like you said, doing amazing things, and we really just wanted to share who they are and hopefully help us build this community better and just network. And hopefully it will just be a great way to connect everyone. But really the best part of it, I think, is that we get to interview Children's Mercy advanced practice providers, nurse practitioners, and PAs to share this information.
Yeah, I am so excited about that. I am so excited to learn about what advanced practice providers are doing within our own institution. We have almost 400 physicians, assistants, and nurse practitioners at Children's Mercy. So it's going to be super exciting to learn from them, and it's going to be amazing. But since this is our very first podcast, Toby, how about we do a little introduction, a little teaser, and put out there what we are going to highlight and maybe give a little taste of what we're going to do. What do you say?
I think that sounds perfect. Well, let's talk first about our guests in October. Our October podcast will begin by talking with Kathy Cartwright. She's the director of the Advanced Practice Professional Development at Children's Mercy Hospital. We are going to talk with her about the advanced practice provider role at Children's Mercy and her role in developing the Academy for Professional Development, which Tricia and I both took a couple years ago. And really, that's how this whole process got started.
Yeah, it kind of lit a fire under us and put a spark
did.
in us to get this going. So I'm super excited to talk with Kathy. She's a very huge asset to Children's Mercy, so I can't wait to talk to her.
And she's been so supportive in helping us create this podcast.
That she has. But we are hoping to do 2 podcasts a month for our listeners to tune into. And so we'll give you a little taste of who our second guest is in October. We will be talking with Jamie Neal Lewis. She is a nurse practitioner in the Developmental and Behavioral Medicine Department here at Children's. This is going to be a great conversation for our listeners. You'll get to hear how she made the move to developmental and behavioral med. Also, her thoughts around how our kids are handling all of the chaos of 2020. 2020 has been quite the year for all of us, I think.
It has.
I don't know if I really think. I know, right? Like, it's been crazy. So I would love to hear from Jamie, like, how is this affecting our children, our youth, how we can help them as providers, kind of guide them through what is happening more than COVID. Like, there are so many things out there. So it's going to be great to speak with her about that.
Oh, yeah. You guys will really enjoy listening to her story. Well, guys, we really would like to end each episode on a much lighter note. So I'm going to ask Tricia, what is one outrageous thing or way you have taken on the challenges of 2020?
Oh, my goodness. This podcast, for one, I kind of threw myself into professional growth and development and love in developing this podcast. Also, on a professional level, our department, as well as many other departments in Children's Mercy, kind of took on a telemedicine role. So I've thrown myself into learning the best ways to do telemedicine and provide care for our families via virtual world, right? Also, I'm trying to get my kids through virtual school, which a lot of us are doing, so that's nothing new. Just trying to make it fun and interacting for them and help my children maintain mental health. Outrageous things I've done. One of the things we did as a family, which I thought would be a lot of fun to share, is that my daughter came up with the COVID Olympics. So my family and I put on a COVID Olympic challenge with different things.
Is funny.
Yeah, it was hilarious. We had a really great time. It was fun. So that was a fun family adventure that we did, was a COVID Olympics, since our vacation got canceled because we were supposed to go to Canada, which didn't happen.
Oh, that's right.
What about you? What's something crazy you've done?
Well, I'm with you. As far as threw myself into professional growth, this podcast is definitely a big step for me to do. So this has been kind of an outrageous thing for me to do as well. On a personal level, we did some fun stuff as well as a family. Like we would dress up and pretend we were going out to dinner and just make dinner here. So that was kind of a fun thing that we would do.
That is fun.
And then my kids loved that. And then one thing, my 11-year-old is doing hybrid school, so she doesn't get to see friends very often. And so what we are doing is doing a little book club with her 11-year-old friends, coming up with once a month meeting with them and their adults outside to discuss a book. So that's kind of a fun, a little adventurous thing that I'm doing.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
love it.
It will be fun. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, thank you so much for taking the time to listen and to support us in this podcast journey.
Absolutely. We really appreciate you taking the time to listen to the novice podcast host that we are. If you have a topic that you want to hear about, please let us know. Or if you have any interest in being a guest on our podcast, we would love to have you. You can email us at tdobrien@cmh.edu or at twilliams@cmh.edu. Once again, thanks so much for listening.
Have a great day, guys.